One of the criticisms of this bike from a lot of people who own it is that the seat slopes forward too much and causes you to, when you're sitting, especially here, causes you to roll forward towards the tank. And that causes discomfort in the lower region of your body. Someone on the forum has, and I'll put links in the description below, has come up with a kit which he has produced using his 3D printer that will remove most of that slope to the seat by raising the front part of the seat as it's installed on the bike. So that's what this modification today is all about. It's about installing this kit here, and the instructions are on his website, and I'll put a link in the description. Installing this kit and removing the slope from this seat. First, you remove this bracket here using 10mm socket and 4mm Allen key, I believe. Get that out, and then you install the first piece in the kit.
2 weeks later.
As you can see, I can't get this bolt off, or this screw off, because the hex head has deformed, and I tried to use a screw extractor to get that out, and the screw extractor broke in there. So what I've got to do, so this doesn't want to come apart. This one came out no problem, but this one's got some corrosion in there due to water coming down from here, going here and corroding the connection here a little bit, just enough to make it tight. Very bad design. I'm going to replace this with proper bolts like this. You can get a good grip, because water can get in here and cause corrosion here, which could cause this joint to seize up. So what I'm going to have to do now is to take this whole assembly off to try and work these two pieces apart. So I've got to take these out, these two out, take this out, remove this, and then take this whole piece out, and then bring it to the workbench and try and separate them. So this is the assembly as removed, and this is the only screw holding it in place. All of this is in an effort to install the seat mod, which is supposed to be a 10-minute job. But this is turning into a huge palaver because of this stupid screw. With the assembly off, I was able to twist this bracket like that, and that broke the bind, and then I could kind of use my small vice grips to grip that a little, and it wasn't actually tight anymore, and I was able to get it out. So this is the crap screw that's going to have to be replaced. So in my workshop, I've got a whole bunch of old screws, machine screws that I've taken off of various things, and that came with various things that I bought, and there were extras. And this one here, this came off of, I believe it's off of out of my previous cars. And so I've got all of these in here, and it so happens that in that little container, I found either this option or this option, and they look like trim screws, but they're the right thread, and they're approximately the right length as this. So I think I'm going to install this one instead of this one, but this one has a built-in washer and everything. It does have a hex head, but I bet you that this is much stronger than that piece of junk screw, this thing here that came from Yamaha. And there's the bracket back installed, this time with my screws in there. None of that button nonsense. We've got proper hex bolts in there, and gonna put that back on and then continue the installation of this seat slope mod. Well, here it is all installed. The bracket is back in place. It's got that spacer underneath, and the spacer, I use the lower position, so I've got my spacers here velcroed on, and I've got my velcro pads put on here in case I want to use it to the in the upper position. I've got the grommets here installed, the bushings I should say installed, and I've got the bolts put back eccentrically placed in the in the offset hole, which is oriented towards the bottom. I'm gonna put on the seat now and see how flat it looks. That's the seat now with the slope mod installed. What I do notice is that I've got a bit of a bigger gap here. I can actually see down there, and so this is where the water goes down, and you can't stop that. It's not a waterproof connection. The fairing fittings and all of that are untouched by this modification. The line of the tank is still preserved, so that still looks good. So let's see what it looks like with the seat in the upper position. There's the seat in the upper position. Still looks pretty flattish. You can still see a little bit of a slope, but that's the natural curvature of the seat. But the thing is, this gap is totally gone. This looks perfectly fitted. Short-legged people like us have to live with a gap, I guess. But this fits quite well. So I'm going to put it back in the lower position where I usually have it. Just want to wrap this up and let you know that the seat slope mod is working pretty good. It does give some relief. I'm going to be working with the manufacturer of mesh air cover, or a mesh seat cover, I should say, for the seat, similar to my cool cover seat cover. And when I put that on, it will make it even more comfortable, because that puts a little bit of a thickness to the padding on the seat because of the construction of the mesh, in addition to making it more comfortable because of the cooling effect. But that'll make it even more comfortable for long distance riding. But in terms of the slope of the seat, it's much improved with this modification. So big success on the modification for the seat slope on the Tracer 900 GT.